my demonic snoring.
Alright, good evening guys.
Yeah.
So we're doing just a live video from home tonight. It's 1 year since we started Spiritual Encounters on YouTube. So we're really happy with the way things are going right now.
Yep.
And we're just going to talk about the usual paranormal, demons, Andy's subject, witchcraft, anything really, you know, whatever topic comes up, we'll cover it. And if anybody wants us to talk about anything in particular, just leave a comment, and we'll cover that as best we can too.
I'd just like to say, like Alison said, we've been doing it. It's a 1 year birthday, we're 1 year old.
So thanks to you guys for watching, and
Yeah.
thanks to the subscribers, and thanks to the regular viewers who keep coming back and supporting the channel. And I know some of the videos haven't been really up to scratch, and we've battled with the weather, and we've battled with traffic, and we've battled with the windy beaches and things like that. But every time we do a shoot outdoors, we do learn each time, where we have done things wrong, and try and improve it again in the future.
Yeah. I mean that's why a lot of the older videos are shorter. They're probably, as far as I'm concerned, we've always give our best, haven't we?
Yeah, we do.
We've always give our best, and no matter what we do, we'll do it honestly. We get nothing. If we get stuff, we go. We're not ever gonna fake stuff.
No.
Because if we're faking stuff, it's not what we want, is it?
No,
We want to find.
I think the thing is, you feel really let down and betrayed by paranormal programs that start faking stuff, because when you've been watching paranormal programs for like 20, 24 years, 20 years, and then those programs, you find out that they've been lying and faking, and that they start to go downhill because the personalities of the main people start to change over the years. It becomes less about raw footage and paranormal. It's more about like how popular they are and how much money they're making. And personally, I feel really let down by at least 2 major paranormal TV programs right now because of the way that the people have gone. That and it shouldn't be like that. And it's like the YouTube paranormal family. There's been so many battles lately going on between people that have worked as pairs, or in small filming groups, and now they're all arguing and fighting and falling out, and it's like, it's not what it's about. Do you know what I mean? It's good to break away and work with other people. I think it's really important to do that, because you get other people's ways of working and different people's opinions and all that sort of thing. So a lot of people are battling it out right now on YouTube because they're splitting up and going off to work with other people. But I think it's refreshing to do that.
Look, at the end of the day, there's room for everybody, and no 2 paranormal groups will do, or whatever you're doing on YouTube, no 2 people are going to do the things the same way. So there's room for everybody, and I think we've learnt from watching big, well-known YouTube personalities who do paranormal and abandoned and stuff like that. We've learnt from them, but we've learnt from watching channels where, same as us, they're not getting thousands of viewers. They're probably only getting like 100 viewers on each video, and we've learnt from them as well. So you can learn. You learn all the time, don't you?
Yeah,
you're picking, and that's how it is. But like I said, I think these people who are having to fake stuff to get views, then that's down to them. They've got to live with that. But all I'll say is, you're getting a lot now where people are commenting on other people's videos, and there are a lot of people now who are trying to prove people that they're faking stuff and how they're faking it and going back over it. And I think that's what I like about ours, is that we just do the 45-minute shoot, and that's it. And it's raw. It's raw. Yep. So we haven't gone back and done anything, and I think somebody will catch you out if you're faking. Somebody will catch you out. Yeah? And once you've it's out there that you're faking stuff that you're putting on, that's it. You might as well not bother doing it anymore, because nobody is ever going to believe what you do. But there is one thing I need to say. If anybody's watched the Deal episode, the Royal Hotel, we've only just gone back and looked, we've only just watched it, and there's a couple of things we've picked up near the end where we sat down, and I think we were trying to get through, was it Diana, the woman who caused the accident, who died. If you watch that towards the end of it, where we sat there, one bit, something black goes past, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And at first we thought, oh, it's either a pigeon or a seagull. But when we've gone back and looked at it, it isn't. It's just, we don't know what to explain. And then there's another bit where I think I'm stood up talking.
Yeah, on the
it's
beach.
in the same bit, and something white goes in front of my face.
Looks like an orb that goes right past your head.
Yeah. Now, it's towards the end where I think we get through a message that says, sit here.
Yeah.
And if you watch that, you will see it. And if you go back, it's definitely not a seagull or a bird or anything. It doesn't even have that look.
No.
It's not something wrong with the camera, because the new cameras, and that doesn't happen on any other film, does it?
But after we picked that up, the messages were significant to the woman,
Yeah.
the female driver who hit the kids and drove off.
Yeah.
The messages are significant
Yeah.
to that, so that's why I think maybe it was her
Yeah.
coming in like an orb, and then all the messages changed, and we even got the name Diana, which was her name, so I'm pretty sure that we got her there on the beach right at the very end, which just proves that you can do paranormal during the daytime as well as at night time. It doesn't have to be. I think at night time it's better picking up orbs. It's quieter. There's not as many people about, so sound wise you can pick stuff up better. But really, 24/7. If you're in the right place at the right time, you can pick it up. And you can pick it up just on your mobile phone. You don't have to have all these fancy cameras or gadgets. We just started out on our mobile phones.
Yeah.
If we were in spooky places, we just got the phones on and just filmed it. And even the recorder on the phone, we use that too.
Yeah.
So you can just start with your own phone. You don't need to buy all this stuff. I mean, as people progress on YouTube, they do buy more equipment.
Yeah,
They get better stuff and all that. But to begin, for anybody who's thinking of going out there and doing it and beginning,
Just do it.
just go with your phone and just do it and see what you get, because you never know. Like we've done 15 minutes footage around Smithles in the courtyard, and we've picked up an orb, coming through a door and out just on the phone. So you just got to be in the right place at the right time, and you can catch it. Anyone can catch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I think we're progressing steadily.
Just want to do more like
Yes, right.
variety. Do you know what I mean? We want to do like paranormal. We want to do like what Andy's just been doing now, some demon summoning, some witchcraft and stuff. Some more abandoned when we get back into it. Different parts of the country, some history. We want to keep it varied so that we always keep it interesting and entertaining, and pull in different viewers with different interests. We don't want to be doing the same thing over and over again, so it becomes like boring and everyone's falling asleep. Do you know what I mean? And we have had the odd comment. I had a comment on one of the shoots at Smithles. Somebody, and sometimes I laugh at these comments. I can't take them seriously.
Yeah.
Some guy came on and said, I slept through the full 35 minutes of your footage, the Colonel Ainsworth footage, and I'm like, well, you stayed awake for the first 5 minutes then, because it was 40 minutes long, so you didn't sleep through all of it.
I know, I'm never going to get that 45 minutes.
No, it's just that some comments, I mean, I just roll around. I will get back and respond to the comments if you leave your, your name, where I can contact you, where we can contact you, we will get back. We like to answer people's comments. We like to get back to the viewers and stuff, But if you don't leave us any details, like if you subscribe and don't leave any details, we're not able to respond back to you. But if you do, we can give you shout outs so we can respond back to you, and you can even tell us places that you know of that you might like us to do, and we can check that out. If find other places to do.
I think eventually what we would really like to do he's following the footsteps of our heroes, Ed and Lorraine, in doing.
Ed and Lorraine Warren from Connecticut.
People getting in touch with us to investigate the homes or things like that, and either letting them know what is haunting the home or what is there, and if they need to be getting rid of it and helping it move on, we can do that sort of thing. That is where we would like to head to, but
it all really depends what kind of a haunting presence you've got in your property. If it's something that just needs to cross over to the light, the next world, or if it's something that needs to be exercised out of the home because it's a different energy altogether. Problems.
Yeah, I think if it's see, some people, once they know who it is, what it is, why it's there, some people are quite happy to live with it. But if it's something that's causing problems and it's causing stress and that, that's ideally. But
I think it all depends, doesn't it, really? Because
you never know.
I think some viewers already know this, some of you subscribers already know this, but I grew up in a haunted home. So I know what it's like to live in a place where it's constantly a creepy feel, cold, like ice, like kind of icy feeling, and you never feel like alone. You always feel like on edge, like something's gonna happen. You never feel relaxed and comfortable. It wasn't the kind of place you could kick off your shoes and curl up and be relaxed. You were always kind of looking about because we all witnessed something, and I witnessed the knocking on my bedroom door when I was, I'd say, from about 12 years of age until I moved out, went for college when I was about 18. For those few years I had 3 o'clock in the morning every night, 3 knocks, and now I've learnt that 3 knocks is supposedly demonic and it's mocking the Trinity and all of that, but it was always 3 knocks. Now when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, it was terrified. I used to get under the covers and just not move and think, whatever it is, go away, don't come in please, and I was petrified, so petrified you can't move with fear. So when I moved out, well, I don't know, but the rest of my family did have different experiences in that house too, so it was, and that was my first experience with ghosts. So my dad brought me up, he got books out of the library, Harry Price, the haunted houses, Amityville, things like that. Just read them, it'll help you understand what ghosts are and what's happening here and why, your experiences these things. Because I go to my friend's house and why is it warm and cozy and nothing ever happens there, and why here, you're freaking out because you've seen this and Mum's freaking out because she's seen, and it's like, it was just really, really, and I told you, there's some things you actually forget. I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but
you do.
And my nan died in 1985, and we brought from her house, it was like a wooden sort of like dresser, mirrored on one side, and you could put ornaments in it and shut the doors and lock it, and we just put it like in the room. And within about a week, and we don't even know how it happened, the door had just fallen over and crashed straight through the thing, had smashed it in, glass everywhere. My mum was like, alright, who's broke it? We've only had it 5 minutes. And it's like, none of us was in here. Nobody was near it. And you know what mums are like, don't believe you, somebody's been clowning around, somebody's broke it, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, literally nobody was anywhere near it. We were all in different rooms. We heard this almighty crash. We all came running in, and this thing was in pieces, and the door had come clean off and gone through it. And we're like, now, I'm like, what the hell? How did that happen? Why? How? You can't...
Yeah.
I don't know, you can't answer it, you just...
I think lately the weirdest one, my mum used to collect all these, like, I think is it Wedgwood?
They're like figurines,
like
yeah,
Wedgwood figurines, right? And she had them all over the place and everywhere. A friend of hers had passed away. Now, my mum ended up with one of these Wedgwood figurines of this lady, right? Sorry, my mum's friend, her friend. Anyway, it's going to be a long story one of it. But what happened was, my mum got this figurine. She put it with the rest of them and everything. A couple of weeks later, we were sat in the kitchen having a tea, and they heard this almighty bang. And no word of a lie, this porcelain, this figurine had literally just blown.
Yeah, it exploded.
It just exploded.
It just exploded.
And it's like, you just can't explain that.
No, you can't. I think it's like an energy. They just don't realise how much energy they've got sometimes.
It hadn't fell on the floor. It hadn't near any heat, because all the other ones were there. It was just that one, and it's like as if the woman was saying, I don't want you having that. Do you know? And it's like the table. We had a glass table in here, and it was under this picture of two owls here, and it was a glass table, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've had it for years and years and years and years. Nothing wrong with the table or anything. I think the only thing wrong with it was that bronze wizard.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, I heard an almighty bang. I came in here, I thought, I've a good idea what it is. That picture has fell off the wall and it's crashed. I came in and there was nothing. I thought, oh well. Wasn't until I got up in the morning after and I looked, I thought, what the hell's all that glass there? The table had just
shattered itself.
Shattered.
But I think sometimes family spirits, when they've just passed over, if they try and make contact with you,
really,
they can sometimes break things because they don't realise how much energy they've got. So they come back with a mean to sort of like knock something over gently to try and get your attention, and they can accidentally, like your mother, she would do it in real life anyway, accidentally shatter the coffee table without any help at all, you know, just.
And my opinion on that is,
she would laugh. She would just laugh so much about
what she was like, and I dare say.
She would have gone.
She was probably.
I didn't mean to do that, Andy. I didn't mean to. Alison, I didn't mean to break your coffee table.
I get the feeling that she was trying to adjust the painting, put the painting straight.
Yeah.
And it's gone wrong.
See, we had lots of conversations with your parent. What was that then? Have I kicked him with my foot?
You knocked that over with the foot.
You get something, make a noise, and you're there. Is it paranormal? It's me just being parapillock.
It's not paranormal. But talking about what we've done in the past 12 months, sometimes you go to places and you go, well, for whatever reason or other, we've not been able to do any filming, and we think, right, we'll go and do that. And you're like, oh my God, people. I mean, we did one the other week while we were away camping. I think we were looking for that abandoned place, and there was just no way to get into it without anybody seeing us or anything like that, or security and that. So we decided to go to this old church graveyard, and we can both honestly say this, and it doesn't show up on film, how scared we were.
It was just creepy. I never felt anything like it for a graveyard.
And the thing is, we've been in graveyards 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, pitch dark, nothing at all, you know, pitch black, and I've never been scared like that.
No.
This was like, it wasn't even dark, as you can watch it. It was, I still don't know, but you don't get the sense on there of how freaked out we were. There was just, I don't know, there was just something about that place. And that, when I went round the corner and it came up on the necrometer, tap on the wall. So I did, I went and I tapped on the wall, and I've had it on EVPs where you've heard something when you've played it back, and you're like, oh my God. But to hear it with my ear.
Yeah, which is rare. You never really do with your ear. Or if you do, you don't catch it on the thing.
To hear it with my ear, something go, huh, behind me. And it was like, he said tap on the wall, knowing that I would have to have my back there. And, but that, I don't know, I'd love to look into that, what about that play. But it was, I don't know, I mean, it seemed weird to me that the lights in the church were on and there was nobody there. The doors into the church were open. I don't know, there was just...
It was like the church was all lit up to welcome you, but there was long grass overgrowing everywhere, so it was like also abandoned at the same time.
Because I know we both said, and I said that church door's open, and we were both like, I don't really... Do you know what I mean? I don't think... You know, you look and you think, churches with lights on, you know, you're not going to be anything. But I don't know, there was just something about
it was very creepy, that place, it really, and it was quite light too, it wasn't even the dark or anything like that was freaking us out, it was just the whole atmosphere of the place.
It was just...
And some of the gravestones were like crammed together as though they'd been moved and just shoved in the corner and stuff, and it just all looked out of place, didn't it? Like
I don't know with that. I mean, we've been to a lot of places, you know, that are poltergeist, demonic activities.
But we were led there that night.
But
we were, because we'd gone to the train station to get the train into Cambridge, so we were sitting there waiting, and then they couldn't let the train go because the barriers that come down to shut off the road had stuck. So the train was there and the barriers had got stuck. They wouldn't let the train through, so they announced, we don't know how long it's going to take. So we were like, well, is it worth going into Cambridge City and then, you know, going doing a shoot and coming out, because we don't know how long this is going to be. So we decided, let's just drive down the road, get something to eat down there,
we did.
and see if we could find something else to film. So we drove past this abandoned care home and we said, oh, well, we'll look at that. So we got a tea, came back, parked up near the abandoned care home, and where we parked, I had the thing down, you know, with the mirror, and I looked and I could see this graveyard and these stones leaning, and I thought, there's a graveyard back there, let's have a look at that, let's check that place out. And it was this graveyard, and I think we were led there. I just have this feeling that we were drawn, we were pulled into, we had to go into that graveyard, we had to do it.
Okay.
But every graveyard is meant to have a watcher, aren't they, like a keeper?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if... See, I've asked, you know, I think I explained on the Haunting Camping video how I work with my spirit guide Lewis. I ask him questions, and if he can tell me, he will tell me. The watchers... There's watchers in every graveyard.
Yeah.
But I think it all depends on what kind of a character they were in real life to what kind of a character they are when they cross over. I think this one was a bit of a malicious intent, you know, it seemed to want to creep us out and freak us out everywhere we went. It was just...
I don't know where that place is.
Spooky,
I just felt as though there was something not right.
Yeah, definitely. And you got the SLS figure on the grave. I was trying to get out of the grave. That was weird too.
Yeah, it was just not right. But that was quite... That was... Yeah, I was genuinely happy to get out of there, to be honest with you.
Some places you're quite happy to be there. It's weird. It's like the Lancaster Lunatic Asylum. I love that place to bits. I could spend the whole night there without any problem whatsoever. It isn't... Well, I think now because I've got used to it. I think if you go in for the first time or the second time, it's scary. But once you've got used to the place, it's like home. You don't really feel that anymore. So
I think once you know, I think a lot of it is what do I do if something goes wrong? Where can I go? And if you know, no matter what's going on there, no matter how much activity you're getting or not, if you know you've got an escape and you know where to go if you panic or something like that, you've got that bit of security, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to think, what was your other place that you really were thinking, I'm actually glad to get out of here because I'm quite freaked out with it? Is there anywhere else?
Just the Edinburgh Vault, the South Vault. I mean, there's different vaults in Edinburgh. You can go down Blair Vaults, Niddry Street Vaults, South Bridge Vaults. The South Bridge Vault, but we were camping at Edinburgh and we were there for about 5 nights, I think. And before we went in that vault, I had a really vivid dream that there was 13 guys in these sort of black hooded robes going round and round and round with their heads down, holding candles and chanting something really negative. It was just a really weird dream I had. And then when we went in this particular vault, at night time, when we went through it and everything on the ghost thing, they told us that there was some witchcraft circle practiced in this particular vault, and it left a really bad energy. And I just had the feeling that whoever was doing stuff in that vault had opened it up, hadn't shut it down, and that's why I think that negative energy was still there. But you blessed it with salt, didn't you, before we gone? Because Andy stayed right behind till everybody had gone and said, I'm going to bless it with the salt and see if we can lift this. Because a lot of people got scratched in that particular vault. There was photographs of different people that had come out of there with scratches. Now, we didn't get scratched.
No.
But you blessed it, you took salt water and blessed it, didn't you, when we came before we come away from
that one there, we've been in, we actually went in twice that week, that when we were there. We went in, the first night we were there, normally there's about at least 20 people in there. The first time we went in this room, and it came out, and then you go off to Greyfriars and all that lot, and that was it, nothing. You get in that big room where you said about you thought people were doing rituals and stuff like that. You get in there and she tells you the story, and she said turns the lights off, and and if something touches your hand, and there's 20 people there. I'm not bothered in the slightest. If something touches me hand, it don't matter. We went off and did it. We went back the second time, and it was totally different. We got in the first bit, and you walk to get into this big vault. You have to go up some iron stairs. Now, me being me, I'm always hanging back, And as I'm going up the stairs, I heard some footsteps behind me coming up the steps. So lights, and there's nothing there. So I come in. So obviously this is making me think something's coming in. So we're in the room and the woman's telling the story again. There's the same amount of people, quite a lot of people in there. And the time before we went in, I went and stood in the corner, where she said people have had this child holding their hand. I went and stood in the corner. All these people are huddled together. I'm in the corner. Never bothered me at all. No. This time, I made sure I was stood in the middle of everybody, and it was like, I don't know, I had a bad feeling. And she's telling this story about the child that will hold your hand and this, that, and the other. And she turned the torch off, and it's pitch black. And all I was thinking all that time was, turn that torch back on.
Yeah.
Please turn.
Was that the South Vault as well?
Yeah. Please turn that torch back on. Please turn that torch. No, I think it was the other one. Yeah, it's not the Niddry Street one. It was the other
Blair
one.
Street.
No, the other one.
It must be South Bridge.
South Bridge. And I was just thinking, turn that torch on, because any minute now I'm gonna open my eyes in the dark, and there's got to be something there, and I knew there would be something there.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely scared. I'm in the middle of 20 odd people, and I've never ever felt that. So she turned the torch back on, and I'm like, but I sort of hung back when everybody was going out, and I shut off the door with the stairs where you enter, and I closed off the door where you leave. So whatever it is still there. But I don't know. I was genuinely scared.
Yeah, some
I was genuinely scared. Yeah, I must admit, I was freaked out with that one, and I've never. And yet, the last time we went in, it was fine. I was alright with it, and it didn't bother me. But it was just that night that was. Yeah, that was freaky that night.
And that's the thing, sometimes these places can be completely flat and then you can go again and then you can get activity, so it can be different each time, can't it? You just never know.
Yeah, I mean, the other vaults I've never.
We did a whole night, didn't we, in the Blair Street once? No, Nidri Street once, we stayed overnight, didn't we?
The
in that
Nidri
one
Street
time?
one where there is the actual room that a coven used, and then there's the other one at the top that's got a negative energy in, and
oh, that's the stone circle on the floor. You're not supposed to go in it.
yeah, I mean,
people who jump in it have had tragic and sudden deaths.
I mean,
so they recommend you don't jump in it, and some daredevils do jump in it, and things have happened to people. One of the people that jumped in that circle, if you remember Boyzone, what, 20-30 years ago, they all went up there to do a charity event overnight at Nidri Street Vaults, and they were advised, don't go in the stone circle, it's got an evil entity attached to it, there's been witches in here that have contained it all into this one area, so stay out of it, they recommend you don't go in there. So the four of the guys were like, right, we're not going anywhere near it. One person from Boyzone jumped in the middle of that circle, and that was Stephen Gatley. And then within 4 years, Stephen Gatley was dead, and they didn't actually find out what had caused it. They had no reports from the doctors to say what had caused it. So that's just one example. We only knew that because he's a famous person. But what about all these other people that go there, jump in that circle and go, we don't know if anything happens to them.
There's lots of people who've had a lot of stuff going on.
I wouldn't go in it personally.
I mean, I don't mean death, but things have happened. I mean, I did have one experience when we were in there. I remember we were all in that room and he was telling the story in there, and I remember I was stood in the doorway. I was actually in the doorway moving back to the corridor, and everybody's circling around, and there was a woman stood there, and I got a sudden sense of like, I am so arrogant, why don't you people get out of my room? And I remember I was stood there and I could feel this coming on, and I just looked at this woman and then looked back, and she said to the guy, she went, I need to get out, I need to go out. But I remember I was stood there and thinking, this is my room, why don't you all just get out of my room?
So something must have taken you on.
And I said, and I just stood there and I just looked over like that at this woman and then looked back, and I remember going, I remember her turning to something and going, I'm going to have to go outside.
Yeah, she did.
And she went,
did leave,
and she went, and I thought, but I mean, I didn't say anything. I just had that thought in my head, and I just looked over and I went like that, and then looked back.
But how do you know that she didn't see something else masking your face?
Well,
you know what I mean? It might not have been you that she saw. She could have seen something else, could she?
That could have been what.
Because she freaked out and left, so we didn't know what happened to her.
But I just felt like, why are you all in here?
So you must have picked up on what was there before, or who it was a coven, wasn't it? It belonged to a coven, didn't it belong to a coven, and they moved out to a
originally
different
because they were getting a lot of bad negative energy.
So there must have been something already in there.
The guy who was the high priest, who's not alive anymore, he went in there one night on his own to try and see what this negative energy was, and all that people know, and this is all that they know, is that when they came in the following morning, he was sat in a corner, he was in tears, he was absolutely shattered, and he'd actually built this stone circle to keep this negative energy in this circle. He never spoke about it from that day, even till when he knew he was dying, and he died. Nobody knows what happened to him that night. So they'll just say he was literally in that room, sat in a corner,
think that's just naturally burned out. I was going to say one candle has gone out.
And he was in tears, and he just would not talk about what happened that night. Now, this is a guy who was a high priest of this, I think it's called the Source of the Blue Dragon Coven. You can look it up. It's as far as I know, they're still practicing now. They have their own vault in Nidra Street. In the Nidra Street vault, they have their own. It's locked up. I think special nights they open it up and let you have a loot, but it is their own, that coven's own room. So all the stuff's in there and everything. Now this guy, if it was publicity, he'd have said, I've done this, done that, other. But to never actually tell anybody about what happened and what he'd done, what he'd seen or whatever, for the rest of his life. Now come on.
No.
If that guy has built that circle to keep that whatever's in there is in, and he's saying do not go in there, I ain't going in. Because if people go, oh, I'm going to go in that circle, see whether it's right. Well, yeah, if you go in that circle and nothing happens, yeah, very good. You're like, oh, it's all a load of rubbish. But if you go in that circle, the only proof, the way to prove that there is something in that circle is by bad stuff happens to you. Why would you go in and dice with the fact that bad things could happen to you, your family, your friends? Why would you risk that? You know, I don't particularly. If somebody like that is saying, do not go in there, then I'm not going in. No matter how much I want to know what's going on and what's happening with it. If by going in that circle nothing happens, then nothing happens.
Yeah.
But by going in it, bad things happen, and I'm not risking it because there's too much proof about it. No, I'm not. I'm not risking it.
There are a few places that are like that. Paris Catacombs is one that can bring bad luck if you go in and be disrespectful or, you know, sort of like being stupid and laughing and stuff like that. Then it can come back. You know, you can get some bad luck back from it because I've done stupid things. We've done stupid things in the past and learnt from it, not to mess with it again, to treat it seriously and have respect. You know, for the departed and, you know, spirits and ghosts and things like that. Just, you know, yeah, if you've got a ghost, a spirit with a sense of humour, then yeah, you can get away with it and have a laugh and stuff. But majority, really, they want to be treated with respect. They want to be treated as you would treat someone, you know, in life. They don't want to be treated any differently. So I think, especially Paris Catacombs, because the Rome Catacombs, there are no bodies in there now. There's no skeletons in there now. They took them all out and reburied them, so they're empty.
Yeah.
But the Paris Catacombs, all the skeletons are still there. So, and some of the tunnels in Paris Catacombs, the skeletons are actually heaped up, and they don't know who, you know, the head, the bones, who, they're just all thrown in. So, and some people, you know, they've had people having raves down there and stuff like that. There's always, you know, YouTubers going in and out and stuff.
Yeah,
they've built like cinemas down there and all kinds of stuff's been going on. So they've used these bones to make chairs and things like that out of, you know. So it's like they've been really, really disrespectful down in the Paris Catacombs, and I think now there's a lot of really bad and negative energy in there now because of that. We've been in twice. Well, I've been in twice. We've been down there, haven't we, Andy? And I think you can sometimes have some lingering bad luck afterwards if you've spent time in there. That's personally from my own experiences. That's what I think of the Paris Catacombs. Yeah.
Well, you know, you we're talking. And we need to tell them this about Highgate.
Oh yeah, Highgate.
Highgate. We did Highgate and we filmed it and everything like that. And we were ready for going. And we thought, oh, we'll have a walk around. So we walked down to this big tomb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's no name on it, and you get your sort of guide and tells you where all the famous graves are and stuff like that. This tomb wasn't even on it. Every tomb, grave and everything is on this map. It's not on it. There's no name on it, no nothing like that. So we were on the legend of the so-called Highgate vampire. So we were down there, and there was a creepy feel to it, wasn't it? It was cold down there, and it was a very, really extremely hot day. So we're doing what we're doing. You said turn to me and went, oh, we better go, there's a guy coming down. Yeah, alright.
There were steps going down the back of the vault.
Yeah.
And I saw this black figure, well, it looked like someone dressed in black with a hat on, and I thought, oh, someone's coming up here, we better move, we can't film if they want to come this way, so we moved away. And then nobody came up the path. But they have described the Highgate vampire as being all dressed in black, you know, just a black figure that's seen around from time to time. But
the thing is, the path that this figure that you saw was going down is a sheer 20-foot drop. There are no steps there.
It actually
just goes to the back of the tomb and just drops, so there's nothing there.
It actually looked like an undertaker walking up. I thought it was something like maybe there'd been a funeral and one of the staff was walking up, because it looked like they were dressed like an undertaker, you know, with the top hat and the ribbon coming down. Just from a distance, that's what the impression I got when this person was walking up. So I said to Andy, we better move, because
we did.
And we walked away, and then no one came up, and we were looking to see where the person had gone, and there was the steps just stopped, and it was a sheer drop, weren't it? So I was like, well,
I looked round and because I thought, oh well, he might probably gone down it. And I looked round and I thought, it's just a sheer drop. But it's the only bit in there that has no name on its tomb.
Yeah.
No names.
Yeah.
And I think afterwards we watched quite a lot of documentaries and stuff about Highgate. And when they describe, supposedly a lot of people had opened it up, people had got in and done satanic rituals and that. And when I look at it, and we watched this documentary, and it described the tomb and the inside, because you can obviously see inside of it, can't
you? Yeah.
And when they described it, we're like, this is that tomb.
So we kind of got led to it again, didn't we?
But it was like, and we were like, why? You know, we had no way of filming it, but we did do a bit of paranormal though, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were getting flashes on the EMF, and I was getting stuff coming through on Spirit Talker as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Getting quiet, but it's as though that tomb doesn't exist in there. You can go around, every grave is put down, every tomb is on that guide that they give you. You go around. This doesn't even exist. It's not there. It doesn't even show you on the map, on the map of the tour around. It's not even on there. So, and you're thinking, well, why? Who was the person? You know, you would think there would be some kind of name on it, family name, whatever name, because it's quite a well kept tomb, innit?
But it's quite an odd story that, really, because there were two vampire hunters at the time going in there with two separate groups, trying to find this tomb and trying to get rid of this vampire. And one of them claimed that he did actually open the tomb up and drive a stake through the vampire's heart and all this and get rid of it. And it's like, is he telling the truth, or is he saying it to outdo the other person who was also looking for the vampire? Very odd story, Highgate Vampire. You need to really look it up on YouTube and check it out. It draws you in the story. You have to keep looking at someone else's documentary and someone else's, because it's a really intriguing vampire story.
You want to know a lot about it? Oh, I can't think of the name now. The guy's name, I'm not sure whether he's a reverend or he's somebody. I think his last name's Manchester anyway. Reverend Manchester. You put in Reverend Manchester Highgate Cemetery, you all about it. The two guys who had a bit of a feud over it. I think eventually they became friends, and then one of them died. One of them died not that long ago. I can't think of his. I can't think of David Farrer.
That's it.
I think his name was David Farrer.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly he found the vampire at some house not far from Highgate, and went into the cellar, found the coffin, and put a stake through the heart of the vampire. Whether that's right or not.
But it's a really intriguing story, whether it's true or it's you know a legend thing. It's what vampire movies are made of, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think when you look at vampire films like well, obviously the Hammer ones, they're all based around that, aren't they? But I think the Interview with a Vampire film too, that kind of thing, it's very similar to that in it in some ways.
Yeah, I mean that is mad. Whether I would like to do it overnight paranormal in Highgate Cemetery.
The problem with Highgate is they lock it up, so what we'd have to do is we'd either have to get locked in for the night, right? Or if we go in and find a way out, then we can go in and then spend how long we need to and then get out somehow, because I'm pretty sure all the YouTubers got in and out of there.
Oh, yeah.
So all we need to do really is just check out the ways in and out when the gates are shut. But it's massive, that place, so there's got to be some holes in the wall around, or trees you can climb up to get over and stuff like that.
You've the west side and an east side, so...
Yeah, because I'd rather go in there in the dark, really. Now that we've done it in the daytime, I think it needs to be done by dark.
Yeah, it's...
But we're going back down there in December, so that it'll get dark at like 4 o'clock then in the afternoon, so even if we go in at sort of 2 o'clock, we can stay until about 9 o'clock at night and then somehow get out, or we can stay all night if we want in there, but it's up to you. We'll see what we do when we get there, innit?
It's a scary place.
Well, there's another cemetery there, Brompton Cemetery, which is also a smaller version of Highgate, and apparently it's got some really nice like Roman kind of effect, you know, marble and stuff like that to look at, but it's all mossed over, you know, because it's old, it looks really creepy. But it's, and also, I'll tell you who's buried there. It's not a famous person, but you know when you was talking about before, Royal Hotel Deal.
Oh, yeah.
The hit and run driver, she's buried there. But it would be a big place, so it might be hard to find a grave, but it might be worth having a look around in it to see if we can see it and finish off this story that we shot in Deal, which was actually an Anthony Horowitz book. And he writes alongside a detective. The detective actually doing the cases, and he's writing the novels alongside him. I think he's done about 4 now. I think maybe the 5th one's due to come out. So the Deal one it was a true story, and the one we did, the miners, I keep saying the miners, the cave, Potholer Caves up in Ingleborough, that was another true like recent murder case, if you like. So I think we're going to have to